I'm staring at Michelle across the conference table, and I already know what she's about to say. Baby, I need you to do something for me. Her voice is honey sweet, the same tone she used in my previous life, the same tone that convinced me to throw away my future. I died at 42. Heart attack in a shitty studio apartment, alone, broke and broken. The last thing I saw was my phone screen. Michelle's Instagram, her and Derek on a yacht in the Maldives. My former boss and my former girlfriend, living the life I'd helped build for them. Then I woke up, 28 years old again, 5 years earlier, the morning of the day that destroyed everything. What is it? I ask, even though I remember every word of this conversation. She reaches across the table, takes my hand. We're in the small meeting room at Apex Dynamics, the tech company where we both work, where I've worked for 3 years as a senior software architect and where she's been a product manager for 18 months. Harrison just pulled me aside, she says. Harrison Chen, our VP of engineering, my boss, her soon-to-be lover. There's only budget for one promotion this quarter. He said it's between you and me. I say nothing. Let her continue. The thing is, she squeezes my hand. Those green eyes, the ones I once thought were beautiful, look at me with calculated vulnerability. Derek mentioned that the promotion would put me in a position to work directly with the C-suite. It's a career-defining opportunity. Derek Morrison, VP of Sales, the man she'll leave me for in 8 months. The man who'll take credit for my architecture designs and use them to secure the CTO position. The man who'll make millions when the company goes public while I'm still paying off credit card debt. And you want me to step aside? I say flatly. No, God, no, Jack, I would never ask you to. She stops, bites her lip. Okay, yes, but hear me out. Here it comes, the pitch. The manipulation dressed as partnership. You're brilliant, Jack. Everyone knows it. You'll get promoted eventually. It's inevitable. But for me, this might be my only shot. You know how it is for women in tech. She pauses, weaponizing feminist talking points against my better judgment. Plus, we're planning our future together, right? We're getting married next year. My raise will benefit both of us. In my past life, I believed her. I went to Harrison and told him I wanted Michelle to get the promotion. I even helped her prepare the presentation that won her the role. I took a salary cut, a 5% reduction to balance the budget, as Harrison put it, while she got a 30% raise. 3 months later, she started sleeping with Derek. 6 months later, she broke up with me, saying she needed someone more ambitious. 8 months later, they announced their relationship at the company holiday party. I sat alone at a back table watching them kiss under mistletoe I'd helped put up. But that's not what destroys me. Not really. What destroys me is what comes after. With Michelle in her new role, she and Derek team up. They take my architectural designs, the revolutionary framework I'd spent years developing, and present them as a collaborative effort. When the patent gets filed, my name isn't on it. When the company raises $100 million in Series C funding based on that tech, I'm still a senior architect making $70,000 a year. I ask for a promotion annually, get denied annually. Not strategic enough, they tell me. Not leadership material. I try to leave, but my reputation is shot. Michelle and Derek whisper in the right ears. Jack's technically competent, but difficult to work with. He's territorial about his code. He's bitter about Michelle's success. Nobody will hire me at a director level. I take a lateral move to a smaller company for the same pay, then another, each one more desperate, each one paying less. By the time I'm 40, I'm a contractor doing grunt work for startups that fail within months. The heart attack comes on a Tuesday. I'm debugging someone else's shitty code, eating ramen because it's all I can afford when my chest seizes. I call 911. The ambulance takes 19 minutes. I die on my bathroom floor, staring at a water stain on the ceiling, thinking about how different things could have been. Then I woke up here, 5 years earlier, with every memory intact. Jack? Michelle's voice pulls me back. Did you hear me? I heard you, I say. You want the promotion. You want me to step aside. I want us to build our future together. She squeezes my hand again. Please, baby, I'll make it up to you. I promise. Promises. In my previous life, she made so many promises. Okay, I say. Her face lights up. Really? Oh my God, Jack, thank you. You won't regret this, I swear. This is going to be amazing for us. She kisses me across the table. I taste her lip gloss, coconut lime, the expensive kind she always wears. When she pulls back, she's glowing. I need to go tell Harrison right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She practically skips out of the conference room. I sit alone staring at the whiteboard covered in product roadmap scribbles. Then I pull out my phone and check my calendar. 2 hours from now, I have a call scheduled. A call that didn't happen in my previous life because I was too busy helping Michelle prepare her promotion presentation. A call with a headhunter from Titan Tech. Titan Tech, Apex Dynamics' biggest competitor. The company that, in my previous timeline, poached 3 of our best engineers over the next 2 years. The company that developed a competing platform that eventually destroyed Apex's market share. The company that went public in 2024 with a $12 billion valuation. The company that, in this timeline, is about to poach me. Because this time, I answered the headhunter's email. This time I know exactly what I'm worth. This time, I'm not stepping aside. I'm stepping up. The call with Jennifer Park, Titan Tech's head of technical recruiting, happens exactly on schedule. Jack Chen? Her voice is crisp, professional. Thanks for making time. I know you're busy. Always have time for interesting opportunities, I say, closing my office door. Through the glass wall, I can see Michelle talking animatedly with Harrison. She's probably telling him about my sacrifice right now. I'll cut to the chase, Jennifer says. We've been tracking your commits to the Apex open source projects. Your architectural patterns for distributed systems are exactly what we need. We're building our next generation platform, and we want someone who can architect the core infrastructure. In my previous life, I never heard this pitch. I was too busy being Michelle's supportive boyfriend. What's the role? I ask. Principal software architect reporting directly to our CTO. You'd be leading a team of 15, maybe 20 by year end. We're moving fast. Compensation? Base salary 220 plus equity. Stock options that'll vest over 4 years. Annual bonus structure tied to company performance, typically 30 to 50% of base. $220,000. I currently make $75,000. That's triple my current comp, I say, letting the shock bleed into my voice even though I knew this was coming. I researched Titan Tech's compensation bands obsessively after I woke up. I know exactly what they pay, what they'll negotiate on, what they won't. You're worth it, Jennifer says simply. Look, Jack, I'll be honest, we've tried to poach you before. We sent emails last year. You never responded. Because in my previous timeline, I was so focused on helping Michelle that I let professional opportunities slip through my fingers. I'm responding now by Nani. I say, good, here's what I'm thinking. We fly you out this Friday, full day interview loop. Meet the team, meet the CTO, meet our CEO. If it goes well, and I think it will, we extend an offer by Monday. Friday, 4 days from now. In my previous timeline, I spent that Friday helping Michelle move into her new office. Friday works, I say. Perfect, I'll send a calendar invite. Business class ticket, hotel at the Rosewood. We'll take care of everything. We talk for another 15 minutes about the technical details. The problems Titan Tech is solving, the scale they're operating at, the roadmap ahead. Every word confirms what I already know from my previous life. This company is going to dominate the market, and I'm going to help them do it. When I hang up, I see Michelle walking back to her desk. She catches my eye through the glass and waves, beaming. I wave back. She has no idea what's coming. The week unfolds like a carefully orchestrated performance. On Tuesday, Harrison calls me into his office. He's a short man with expensive glasses and a superiority. Complex. The kind of manager who thinks title equals competence. Jack, I wanted to thank you personally. He gestures at the chair across from his desk. Michelle told me what you did. That's real team leadership. I want to laugh. In my previous life, this exact conversation happened. He praised my team leadership while simultaneously processing my salary reduction. Michelle's very talented, I say. She deserves the opportunity. She does, and truthfully, Jack, this works out well for everyone. We need to make some budget adjustments in engineering. I was going to have to ask you to take a small pay cut anyway, just 5%, nothing major. But now we can frame it as part of Michelle's promotion package. There it is, the casual cruelty delivered with a smile. Budget adjustments, I repeat. Company-wide initiative, belt tightening, you understand? He leans back in his chair. But here's the thing, Jack, you're a valuable contributor. In a year or two, when things stabilize, we'll revisit your compensation. Maybe get you to that 6-figure mark. 6 figures in a year or two? Maybe. I made $75,000 for 3 years at Apex. In my previous life, I was still making $80,000 when I left. The revisit never happened. I appreciate that, Harrison, I say, my voice neutral. Good man. Oh, and Jack, I need you to document your current architecture work. Knowledge transfer stuff. Just standard practice. Knowledge transfer. Code for, we're going to take your designs and make sure we can replicate them without you. Sure thing, I say. I walk out of his office and go straight to the bathroom, lock myself in a stall. Let myself feel the rage for exactly 60 seconds. Then I breathe, center myself. Remember that in 4 days, none of this will matter. In 4 days, I'll be in San Francisco interviewing at Titan Tech. In 5 days, I'll have an offer that changes everything. Wednesday night, Michelle comes over to my apartment. We've been dating for 2 years, and she has a key. She lets herself in while I'm making dinner. Pasta carbonara, her favorite. Smells amazing, she says, wrapping her arms around me from behind. You're the best, you know that? Just trying to celebrate your success, I say. We eat on the couch, watching some Netflix show she picked. She talks about her new responsibilities, the projects she'll manage, the executives she'll work with. Derek seems really supportive, she mentions casually. He sent me a really nice message about the promotion. Derek? Of course. In my previous timeline, I missed this. I was so busy being happy for her that I didn't see the signs. The way she said his name with a little extra warmth. The way she checked her phone more often after spending time with him. That's nice of him, I say. He's not as bad as people say. She curls up against me. I think he's just misunderstood. I swallow my response. Let her talk. Anyway, enough about work. I've been thinking about our wedding. I know we said next fall, but what if we waited? Just a little longer? In my previous timeline, she delayed the wedding 3 times before finally breaking up with me. Why wait? I ask. Well, with my new role, I'll be traveling more. And I want to focus on building my career right now. We have our whole lives ahead of us, right? Our whole lives. What a joke. Right, I say. She falls asleep against me around 10. I carefully move her to the bedroom, tuck her in. She murmurs something about loving me. I go back to the living room and open my laptop. I have work to do. Thursday morning, I'm in the office early. 5 a.m. before anyone else arrives. I need to prepare for tomorrow's interview, but more importantly, I need to gather ammunition. I navigate to our code repository. 3 years of my work, stored in Git commits. Architecture documents, design specifications, technical proposals, all bearing my name, my timestamp, my unique coding patterns. I download everything, not just my code, but comprehensive documentation of what I built, when I built it, and how it works. I back it up to 3 different cloud services, then email encrypted copies to myself because I know what's coming. In my previous timeline, after I left Apex, Michelle and Derek tried to claim I'd stolen company IP when I attempted to use similar patterns elsewhere. They had the legal team send cease and desist letters. It worked because I couldn't prove the timeline, couldn't demonstrate that I'd developed these systems before they filed their patents. This time I have proof. Time-stamped, immutable proof. I'm so focused on my work that I don't notice Harrison arrive until he's standing behind me. "You're here early," he says. I close my laptop smoothly. "Couldn't sleep? Figured I'd get a jump on that documentation you asked for?" "Good man." He pats my shoulder. The patronizing touch makes my skin crawl. "You know, Jack, I've been thinking. With Michelle's promotion, you two are going to be in different reporting structures. Might create some perception issues." Perception issues? Office relationships. HR gets touchy about it when there's a hierarchy involved. Just something to keep in mind. He walks away before I can respond. I sit there, staring at my closed laptop, understanding exactly what just happened. He's laying groundwork, planting seeds. If Michelle and Derek's affair becomes public, Harrison wants plausible deniability. We warned them about office relationships. We expressed concerns. In my previous life, when everything blew up, HR claimed they'd had ongoing concerns about my relationship with Michelle. They framed me as the problem, the jealous ex who couldn't handle his girlfriend's success. They used it to justify forcing me out, not this time. Friday morning, I wake up at 4 a.m. My flight to San Francisco leaves at 7. I texted Michelle last night, told her I was taking a personal day. "Feeling burnt out," I said. "Need a mental health break." She sent back hearts and supportive messages. I Uber to the airport, business class ticket on Titan Tech's dime. The flight is smooth, landing at 10 a.m. Pacific. A driver is waiting with my name on a sign. The Titan Tech office is in Soma, a gleaming tower of glass and steel. The lobby has a 3-story waterfall and a coffee bar that looks like it belongs in a boutique hotel. Jennifer Park meets me at reception. She's younger than I expected, mid-30s, with sharp eyes and a firm handshake. "Jack, great to finally meet in person. How was the flight?" "Smooth. This is an impressive office." "Wait until you see the engineering floor." She's not kidding. The elevator opens onto an open-plan space that makes Apex look like a garage startup. Sit-stand desks, multiple monitors per station, breakout rooms with whiteboards full of equations, a fully stocked kitchen, and is that a nap room? "We take care of our people," Jennifer says, reading my expression. The interviews begin. First up, a panel of senior engineers. They grill me on distributed systems, consistency models, cap theorem trade-offs. Questions I could answer in my sleep, even without my previous life's knowledge. Then, the engineering director. We talk about team building, technical leadership, how to balance innovation with stability. I share stories from Apex, carefully edited to showcase my skills without bad-mouthing my current employer. Then, a working session with the principal architect I'd be replacing. He's moving to a VP role, and he needs someone who can take over his baby. A distributed caching system that processes billions of requests per day. I spot the bottleneck in his design within 20 minutes. Suggest an optimization that would reduce latency by 40%. His eyes light up. That's brilliant. Why didn't I see that?" "Fresh eyes," I say modestly. Lunch is with the engineering team. 15 people, mostly in their 20s and 30s, sharp and hungry. They ask about my background, my philosophy on code review, my thoughts on technical debt. I'm honest. Probably more honest than I should be. I talk about the frustration of watching good architecture get compromised by short-term business pressures, about the importance of documentation and knowledge sharing, about building systems that last. They nod along. These are people who care about craft, not just cashing paychecks. After lunch, the CTO. Marcus Webb is a legend in the industry, early engineer at Google, instrumental in building their ads platform. He's 50, gray-bearded, wearing a hoodie and jeans that probably cost more than my monthly rent. "Jack Chen," he says, shaking my hand. "I've been looking forward to this." We talk for 90 minutes. It's less an interview and more a philosophical discussion about the future of distributed computing. He sketches ideas on a whiteboard. Sketch back. We debate approaches, challenge each other's assumptions. He asks me about the hardest technical problem I've ever solved. I tell him about the time I debugged a race condition that only manifested under production load, affecting 1 in every 10 million requests. how I built custom instrumentation to catch it, how I rewrote the synchronization logic to eliminate it entirely. Beautiful, he says. That's the kind of thinking we need. You don't just fix problems, you eliminate classes of problems. That's the goal, I say. One more person you need to meet, Marcus says, checking his watch. If you're up for it. Absolutely. We take the elevator to the top floor, executive suite, corner office with views of the Bay Bridge, the CEO. Catherine Jen is 45, Stanford MBA, former partner at Sequoia. She built Titan Tech from a seed stage startup to a unicorn in 6 years. In my previous timeline, she'll take the company public at a $12 billion valuation. She's terrifying and magnetic in equal measure. Mr. Chen, sit. She gestures at a leather chair across from her desk. Marcus stays standing by the door. Marcus tells me you're the real deal, she says. That true? I like to think so. Don't be modest. I hate modesty. Tell me why I should pay you $220,000. I take a breath. This is it, the moment. Because I can save you 18 months and $20 million. Her eyebrow arches. Explain. Your current architecture has a fundamental scaling problem. I saw it in the technical documents Jennifer sent over. You're using a master-slave database configuration with red replicas, but your write throughput is going to hit a ceiling in the next 12 to 18 months. When you cross 100 million daily active users, your database will become a bottleneck. I pull out my phone, open the Notes app where I've sketched a diagram. You need to shard horizontally, but that's expensive and complex. Most companies wait until they hit the wall, then scramble to fix it. That's when you lose engineering velocity, burn money on consulting fees, and risk downtime. I look up. Catherine is leaning forward. Marcus has a small smile. I can architect the transition now before you hit the wall. Smooth migration, minimal disruption. By the time you hit 100 million users, your system will be ready. That's what I'm worth. Catherine glances at Marcus. He nods. 220 is our initial offer, she says. But if you can actually pull that off, we'll bump you to 250 after your first year, plus acceleration on your equity vesting if we hit our Series D milestones. 250,000 plus equity that could be worth millions. When can you start? She asks. I need to give notice. 2 weeks minimum. Make it 1 week. We'll buy you out of whatever obligations you have. I want you here by next Monday. Monday is aggressive. Monday or the offer drops to 200. She smiles. It's not a warm smile. I don't pay premium prices for people who aren't eager. In my previous life, I would have hesitated, worried about burning bridges, worried about being professional. Fuck that. Monday works, works, I say. Catherine stands, extends her hand. Welcome to Titan Tech, Jack. Try not to disappoint me. I won't. I fly back to Seattle Friday night, business class again, sipping complimentary champagne at 30,000 feet. The offer email arrives before I land, 220,000 base. 4-year vesting on options that, if Titan Tech hits its projected valuation, could be worth $3 million. Signing bonus of 50,000, relocation assistance, full benefits, unlimited PTO, the works. I read it 3 times. In my previous life, I died making $45,000 a year as a contractor. I accept the offer before my Uber gets to my apartment. Saturday morning, I wake up to text from Michelle. Feeling better? Wanted to grab brunch? Miss you 3. I stare at the messages for a long moment. Then I type, can we talk? Something important came up. Of course, come over. I drive to her apartment. She lives in Capitol Hill, a nice 1-bedroom she can barely afford on her current salary. Once she gets her raise, she'll upgrade. In my previous timeline, she moved to a luxury building in Belltown. Derek helped her move. She opens the door in yoga pants and an oversized sweater, hair in a messy bun. Hey, you, what's going on? I step inside. Her apartment smells like vanilla candles and coffee. I got a job offer, I say. Her face lights up. Oh my God, that's amazing. Where? Titan Tech in San Francisco. The light dims. Oh, San Francisco? They want me to start Monday. Monday? As in 3 days from now? She sits down hard on her couch. Jack, that's really sudden. I know. What about us? What about your job here? What about. She stops, takes a breath. What's the offer? 220,000 base, plus equity. Her mouth opens, closes. That's. Wow. That's almost 3 times what you make now. Yeah. She's quiet for a moment. I can see the calculations happening behind her eyes. The recalibration. In my previous life, this conversation never happened. I stayed. I sacrificed. I made myself small so she could be big. I can't turn this down, I say quietly. No, no, of course not. That's an incredible opportunity. Her voice is automatic, supportive, but her hands are twisting in her lap. It's just. We just figured out my promotion. We were talking about our future, and now. Long distance? I suggest, even though I know what's coming. I don't know if I can do long distance, Jack. My new role is going to be so demanding. And San Francisco is expensive. We'd barely see each other. There it is. The beginning of the end. In my previous timeline, she ended things when she didn't need me anymore. When Derek offered more, now she's ending things because I'm leaving, because I'm choosing myself. The reasons are different, but the outcome is the same, except this time I'm in control. I understand, I say. She looks up, surprised by my calm. You do? Yeah, this is a big opportunity for both of us. You've got your promotion. I've got Titan Tech. Maybe this is just timing. Timing, she repeats. I can see relief flooding her features. I'm making this easy for her. God, Jack, you're so understanding. I love that about you. Love, present tense, how generous of her. We can still be friends, she says. Keep in touch. Who knows, maybe down the road. Maybe, I say. We hug. She cries a little. I make comforting sounds. When I leave, she's already texting someone. Probably Derek, probably Harrison. Spreading the news that I'm leaving, that I'm no longer a factor in her calculations. I drive home and open my laptop. Time to write my resignation letter. Monday morning, I arrive at Apex at 7 a.m. I print out my resignation letter, old school on company letterhead. Hand-delivered is more dramatic. Harrison arrives at 8. I'm waiting outside his office. Jack, what's up? He looks annoyed at being ambushed before his coffee. Can we talk? Sure, come in. I close the door behind me, place the letter on his desk. He picks it up, scans it. His expression shifts from confusion to shock to anger in about 5 seconds. You're resigning? Effective immediately? I have a new opportunity. They need me to start today. Today? That's not how this works, Jack. We need transition time. Knowledge transfer. You can't just, I can. Washington is at-will employment. I'm giving you courtesy notice out of professionalism, not obligation. His face reddens. This is incredibly unprofessional. After everything we've done for you, everything you've done? I let the words hang. You cut my salary last week. That was a budget adjustment. Let's call it what it is, Harrison. You lowered my pay to fund Michelle's raise, which I agreed to, by the way. I was a team player. I lean forward, but I don't owe you more than that. Who's hiring you? Titan Tech. His face goes pale. Titan Tech? Our competitor? Your competitor, not mine, not anymore. There are non-compete clauses. In Washington state? Good luck enforcing those. I stand. I'll be clearing out my desk. HR can mail my final paycheck. I walk out before he can respond. My desk is exactly as I left it Friday morning. Personal photos, mostly of Michelle, ironically. A few books, some snacks. I pack everything into a banker's box in under 10 minutes. Michelle arrives as I'm carrying it out. Jack, what are you doing? Leaving, I told you yesterday. But I didn't think you meant today. People are staring now, the early birds, the engineers who come in before 9. Word travels fast in open offices. I start at Titan Tech this afternoon, flying out at noon. Her face is a mask of shock. You're moving today? Movers come tomorrow for the big stuff. But yeah, essentially. Jack, She glances around at the watching eyes, lowers her voice. Can we talk? Privately? I don't think there's anything left to say. Please, Dea. Set down the box. Follow her to the same conference room where this all started a week ago. She closes the door. Jack, this is crazy. You can't just leave like this. Why not? Because we have history. Because you just agreed to support my promotion. Because... She stops, regroups. Is this about us breaking up? No. Because if it is, we can talk about it. Maybe I was hasty. Maybe we can make long distance work. Michelle. I cut her off gently, but this isn't about you. That stops her. She blinks. What? This is about me, about my career, about taking an opportunity that's going to change my life. I pause. You got your promotion. I'm happy for you, but I'm not going to stay somewhere that doesn't value me just to make your life easier. I never said you didn't have to. She stares at me. For the first time since I've known her, she looks genuinely shaken. You're different, she says quietly. Yeah, I am. I pick up my box and walk out. Harrison is waiting by the elevator with someone from IT. We need to collect your laptop and badge, the IT guy says. Young, awkward, clearly uncomfortable. I hand them over. Laptop's clean. All my personal files are backed up. We'll need to do an exit interview, Harrison starts. No thanks. It's company policy. Send the paperwork to my personal email. I'll sign what I need to sign. The elevator arrives. I step in. As the doors close, I see Harrison and Michelle standing together in the hallway, both looking shell-shocked. I smile. The flight to San Francisco is surreal. I'm in business class again. Titan Tech booked it, along with a month at a corporate apartment while I find permanent housing. Everything is happening so fast, but it feels right. Like I'm finally moving at the speed I was always meant to move at. I land at 2 p.m., check into the apartment, a sleek high-rise in Mission Bay with a view of the ballpark, drop off my luggage, change into fresh clothes. By 4 p.m., I'm walking into Titan Tech's office. Jennifer is waiting at reception with my badge. Welcome to your first day, she says. Ready? Ready. The next 6 hours are a blur. HR paperwork, equipment setup, introductions to the team. My desk is in a pod with the other principal architects, a prime spot with a view of the city. Marcus stops by around 7. First day going okay? It's great. Good. Listen, I know you just got here, but we have a planning session tomorrow morning at 8. I'd love your input on the database sharding strategy. I'll be there. He nods, satisfied. Oh, and Jack, we don't do politics here. No. Backstabbing, no credit stealing. You do good work, you get recognized. Simple as that. It's like he can read my mind. That sounds perfect, I say. The first month is a whirlwind. I work 12-hour days, sometimes 14, but it doesn't feel like the grind I experienced at Apex. Here, the work matters. The problems are interesting. The people are sharp. I architect the database sharding strategy exactly as I promised. Present it to the engineering all hands in week 3. Get a standing ovation. Catherine personally emails me. This is why we pay you the big bucks. Keep it up. My equity starts vesting. On paper, I'm already worth more than I made in my entire previous life. But the real satisfaction comes from watching Apex implode. It starts small. I see the signs on LinkedIn. Week 2, 3 senior engineers from Apex update their profiles to say they're open to opportunities. Week 3, one of them connects with me. Hey Jack, heard you moved to Titan Tech. How is it? Are you guys hiring? Week 4, all 3 of them interview at Titan Tech. I give them strong recommendations. They all get offers. By the end of month 1, Apex has lost 4 senior engineers, all to Titan Tech. But that's just the beginning. Month 2 is when things get interesting. Marcus pulls me into his office. We have a problem? Well, an opportunity. Depends on how you look at it. What's up? Our biggest client, Vertex Systems, is getting courted by Apex. They're pitching some new platform architecture that supposedly solves all of Vertex's scaling problems. Vertex Systems, $100 million annual contract. Titan Tech's second largest customer. Let me guess, I say. The architecture uses a distributed caching layer with predictive prefetching and a novel consistency model. Marcus's eyes narrow. How did you know that? Because I designed it. At Apex. It was my project for 2 years. His expression shifts from surprise to something darker. They're pitching your work? They will be. The patent hasn't been filed yet, but they'll file it soon, and when they do, my name won't be on it. That's IP theft. Technically, it's work for hire. I developed it while employed there. They own it. I pause. But here's the thing. That architecture has a fatal flaw. Fatal? It works beautifully at small scale. Under 10 million daily active users, it's perfect. But once you cross that threshold, the consistency model breaks down. You'll start seeing data corruption, phantom reads, lost writes. You designed something that doesn't scale? No, I designed the first phase. I had a roadmap for phase 2 that would solve the scaling issues. But I never got to implement it because I was too busy helping my girlfriend's career. The bitterness leaks through. They have phase 1. They don't have phase 2. And they don't know phase 1 breaks at scale. Marcus leans back. Vertex has 15 million daily active users. Exactly. So if they switch to Apex's platform, they'll be fine for a few months. Then everything will go to shit. He's quiet for a moment. Then, can you fix it? The architecture, I mean. Can you design what phase 2 should have been? Yeah, I've had the solution in my head for 3 years. How long would it take to implement? With a dedicated team, 6 weeks? Do it. I'm assigning you 8 engineers. Whatever you need, you get. Pull the Vertex contract. I pull the Vertex contract. The next 6 weeks are brutal. I'm working 16-hour days, architecting the system I always knew was possible but never got to build. The system that would have made Apex dominant in the market if they'd just let me finish. Instead, I'm building it for Titan Tech. My team is incredible. 8 of the smartest engineers I've ever worked with, all following my technical vision without question. We move fast, break things, fix them faster. By week 4, we have a working prototype. By week 6, we have a production-ready system. I fly out to Vertex's headquarters in Austin, present the solution to their CTO and engineering leadership. This is what we needed, their CTO says. This is exactly what we needed. Apex is pitching you something similar, I say carefully. But I'm familiar with their architecture. It has scaling limitations. You used to work there, right? I did. I designed the system they're pitching you, which is why I know its limitations. That gets their attention. We're planning to scale to 30 million users next year, the CTO says. Will their system handle that? No, it'll start failing around 15 million. Data corruption, consistency issues, potential data loss. And yours? Mine will scale to 100 million, maybe more. Vertex signs the contract renewal that day. Not just renewed, expanded. 120 million annually for 3 years. Catherine sends me a bottle of champagne and a note. You just saved the company. Enjoy. Month 3 is when Apex realizes what's happening. I get an email from Harrison. The subject line is urgent legal matter. Jack, it has come to our attention that you may be using proprietary information developed during your employment at Apex Dynamics in your role at Titan Tech. We take intellectual property theft very seriously. Please be advised that we are prepared to pursue legal action if you do not immediately cease and desist from using any architecture, code, or designs developed at Apex. Our legal team will be in touch. Regards, Harrison Chen, VP of Engineering, Apex Dynamics. I forward the email to Titan Tech's general counsel with a note. Here we go. She calls me 30 minutes later. Did you steal anything from Apex? She asks bluntly. No, everything I've built here is new, designed from scratch. The only connection is that I know what not to do because I know their system's limitations. Do you have documentation? Proof that your work here is original? Every commit is time-stamped. Every design document has my authorship. Plus, I have archives of my work at Apex that prove those systems were fundamentally different. Good, let them come. We'll bury them. The cease and desist letter arrives 2 days later. Titan Tech's lawyers respond with a 40-page brief explaining exactly why Apex has no case. They never file suit. Month 4 is when everything comes crashing down for Apex. The first domino, Vertex publicly announces they're expanding their partnership with Titan Tech, not switching to Apex. They issue a press release praising our innovative architecture and superior technical capabilities. Apex's stock price drops 12%. The second domino, 3 more large customers choose Titan Tech over Apex in competitive deals. Word spreads that Titan Tech has the real talent. Apex's stock drops another 8%. The third domino, an engineering blog post goes viral. Why I left Apex for Titan Tech. It's written by one of the senior engineers I helped recruit. He doesn't name names, but he talks about toxic management, taking credit for junior engineers' work, and a culture of politics over merit. The Hacker News thread gets 1,500 comments. Former Apex employees start sharing their own stories. Apex's stock drops another 15%. The fourth domino, Harrison Chen is fired. It's announced in a terse press release. Apex Dynamics is making changes to its leadership team to better align with our values and culture. Translation, someone had to take the fall. The fifth domino, Michelle's promotion is rescinded. I hear about it through the grapevine, the network of engineers who've moved from Apex to Titan Tech. Budget cuts, they say, reorganization. She's back to her old role and salary. The sixth domino, Derek Morrison is placed on administrative leave pending an investigation into workplace conduct issues. Turns out, once Harrison was gone, people felt safer reporting Derek's behavior. The affairs, the harassment, the toxic management style. He's fired 2 weeks later. The seventh domino, Apex announces layoffs, 20% of the engineering staff. Michelle is part of that 20%. Month 6, I get a LinkedIn message. It's from Michelle. Hey, Jack, I know we haven't talked in a while. I saw you're doing really well at Titan Tech. Congratulations. I'm actually looking for new opportunities right now. If you hear of anything, I'd love to catch up. I stare at the message for a long time. In my previous life, she destroyed me. She took credit for my work, torpedoed my career, and left me to die alone in a shitty apartment. In this life, I've done the same to her. Not directly, not deliberately, but the result is the same. I could ignore her, let her spiral, watch her career implode the way mine did. But that's not who I want to be. I type a response. Hey, Michelle, sorry to hear about Apex. That's rough. Titan Tech isn't hiring for roles at your level right now, but I can introduce you to some recruiters I know. Good luck with the search. Professional, distant, kind enough, but with clear boundaries. She never responds. Month 9, Titan Tech announces our Series D funding round. $600 million at a $4 billion valuation. My equity is suddenly worth $800,000 on paper. And that's just the vested portion. Catherine promotes me to senior principal architect. My base salary goes to $250,000 as promised. I'm 30 years old. I'm making $250,000. I have equity worth nearly $1 million. I have a team of 20 engineers who respect me. I have a boss who values me. I'm living in a city I love, in a beautiful apartment, dating someone new, a product manager at a startup who makes me laugh and doesn't play games. I'm happy, actually genuinely happy. Month 12, I'm invited to speak at a tech conference in Seattle. I almost decline. Too many ghosts in that city. But Marcus encourages me. You've built something incredible here. People should hear about it. So I fly back to Seattle for the first time since I left. The conference is at the convention center downtown. My talk is on distributed systems architecture, the work I've been doing at Titan Tech. The room is packed, 300 people, standing room only. I see her in the third row, Michelle. She's thinner than I remember, wearing a blazer that's nice but not expensive. Her hair is shorter. She's watching me with an expression I can't read. I give my talk. It goes well. Questions from the audience, nods of understanding, even some applause at the particularly clever bits. Afterward, there's a networking session. People line up to talk to me, exchange business cards, ask about opportunities at Titan Tech. Michelle waits until the line is done. Then she approaches. Hey, she says. Hey. That was a great talk, really insightful. Thanks. We stand there awkwardly, two people who were once intimate, now strangers. I wanted to apologize, she says suddenly, for how things ended, for how I treated you. I wasn't expecting that. It's ancient history, I say. Maybe, but I've had a lot of time to think about what I prioritized, what I sacrificed for it. I thought the promotion was the most important thing. I thought climbing the ladder was what mattered. She looks down. I was wrong. What are you doing now? I ask. Consulting, freelance. It's fine. Not what I hoped for, but fine. She attempts a smile. Turns out I wasn't as indispensable as I thought. There's no satisfaction in hearing this. No vindication. Just a sad recognition that we both made choices and we're both living with them. I hope it works out for you, I say. And I mean it. You too, though it seems like it already has. She walks away. I watch her go, feeling nothing but a quiet relief that this chapter is finally completely closed. Year 2 at Titan Tech is even better than year 1. We launched the next generation platform publicly. It's a massive success. Companies are migrating from Apex in droves. Apex announces they're being acquired by a private equity firm for a fraction of their former valuation. The acquirers gut the company, selling off assets and laying off most of the staff. The architecture I designed, the one they were going to patent without my name, never ships. It's shelved as part of the acquisition. Titan Tech, meanwhile, goes from strength to strength. We cross 100 million daily active users. The system I architected handles it flawlessly. We close deals with Fortune 500 companies. The tech press writes glowing profiles about our engineering culture. Catherine announces we're preparing for an IPO. My equity is now worth $3 million. $3 million. I buy a house, not a mansion, just a nice 3-bedroom in Noe Valley with a view of the city. I furnish it simply but well. I have space for a home office, a guest room, a life. I invite my parents to visit. They're both retired now, living in Portland. They walk through the house with wonder. I'm so proud of you, my mom says, tears in her eyes. My dad just hugs me. You did it, son. Yeah, I did. Year 3, the IPO happens. Titan Tech goes public at a $12 billion valuation, just as I knew it would. My equity vests fully. After taxes, I clear $6 million. $6 million? I'm 33 years old. I'm a millionaire. I never have to worry about money again. But more than that, I'm respected. I'm valued. I'm building things that matter, surrounded by people who appreciate what I do. I think about my previous life sometimes. The loneliness, the poverty, the slow slide into obscurity, the heart attack in a shitty apartment, alone and forgotten. That version of Jack Chen died so this version could live. I don't feel guilty about it. I don't feel vengeful. I just feel grateful. Year 5, I get a notification on LinkedIn. Harrison Chen has endorsed you for technical architecture. I laugh out loud. The audacity. The sheer fucking audacity. I check his profile. He's working at a small startup now, director level. Nowhere near the VP role he had at Apex. I don't endorse him back. Year 7, I speak at that same conference in Seattle again. The room is even more packed this time. 500 people. Titan Tech is now a $20 billion company. I'm a VP of engineering, leading a team of 150 people. After my talk, a young engineer approaches me. She's maybe 25, nervous, clutching a notebook. Mr. Chen, I just wanted to say thank you. Your architecture patterns completely changed how I think about distributed systems. That's great to hear. What company are you with? I just started at Apex, actually. Well, what's left of it. She makes a face. It's not great, to be honest, but I needed a job after graduation. Apex is still around? Barely. They were acquired twice since the PE firm bought them. Most of the original people are gone. It's basically a zombie company at this point. I nod slowly. If you're looking for something better, Titan Tech is always hiring good engineers. Her eyes widen. Really? I hand her my business card. Send me your resume. We'll set up an interview. She thanks me profusely and runs off, probably to tell her friends. I stand there, holding my coffee, looking out at the Seattle skyline. This city used to represent my failure, my death. Now it's just a place I visit sometimes, a place where I give talks and recruit talent and remember how far I've come. Year 10, I get an email. The sender is Michelle Crawford, her married name now apparently. The subject line, congratulations. I open it. Hi, Jack. I saw the news about Titan Tech crossing $50 billion market cap. Congratulations. You've built something incredible. I'm sure you're surprised to hear from me. I'm not asking for anything. I just wanted you to know that I think about my choices a lot. About how I treated you, what I prioritized. I'm okay now, married, 2 kids, working as a product consultant. It's a good life, even if it's not what I once imagined. But I wanted you to know that I'm sorry. Truly sorry. For not seeing your value until it was too late. For taking you for granted, for all of it. I hope you're happy, Jack. You deserve it, Michelle. I read the email 3 times. Then I archive it without responding. Some chapters don't need epilogues. Year 12, I'm sitting in my office at Titan Tech headquarters. I'm 40 years old, Chief Technology Officer. I report directly to Catherine, who's preparing to step down as CEO in the next 2 years. There's talk of me being in the running to replace her, though I'm not sure I want it. I've accomplished more than I ever dreamed possible. More than seemed possible in my previous life. My net worth is north of $100 million. I have a beautiful partner, Sarah, a professor at Berkeley, and we're talking about getting married next year. We're talking about kids. I have a life, a real life, full and rich and meaningful. I think about that other Jack sometimes, the one who died alone, the one who never got this second chance. I think about Michelle and Derek and Harrison, where they ended up versus where I ended up. I don't feel smug about it. I don't feel vindictive. I just feel even. Like the universe owed me something, and I collected. My phone buzzes, a calendar notification. All hands meeting, announcing acquisition of Apex Dynamics assets. I smile. We're buying what's left of Apex. The intellectual property, the remaining customer contracts, the brand name. We're going to absorb it entirely, fold it into Titan Tech, erase it from existence. Catherine wanted me to be the one to announce it. You started this, she said. You should finish it. I gather my notes and head to the auditorium. 2,000 employees are waiting. The energy is electric. Everyone knows this is a big moment. I step up to the podium. Good morning, Titan Tech. The room erupts in cheers. I wait for them to settle. Then I begin. 12 years ago, I was working at a company called Apex Dynamics. I was a senior architect making $75,000 a year. I developed some revolutionary architecture, but I wasn't getting recognition for it. I was being undervalued, underpaid, and taken for granted. The room is silent now, listening. One day, I had to make a choice. I could stay in a place that didn't value me, that wanted me to make myself smaller so others could be bigger. Or I could bet on myself. I could take a risk, jump to a competitor, and prove what I was really worth. I pause, let that sink in. I chose to bet on myself. I came here to Titan Tech for triple my salary and the opportunity to build something incredible. And you know what happened? We built something incredible. Together. Applause ripples through the room. Today, I'm announcing that Titan Tech is acquiring the remaining assets of Apex Dynamics. The company that once undervalued me no longer exists as an independent entity. It's becoming part of us, part of our story. The applause grows louder. This isn't about revenge. This isn't about settling scores. This is about winning, about building something so good, so undeniable that the companies that rejected us have no choice but to become part of us. I look out at 2,000 faces. Engineers, product managers, designers, salespeople. People who bet on themselves, who chose Titan Tech, who are building the future. This is about proving that when you value talent, when you invest in people, when you build a culture based on merit instead of politics, you win. You don't just win, you dominate. The room erupts. I step back from the podium, the applause washing over me like a wave. Catherine is waiting in the wings. She nods at me, approval in her eyes. "That was perfect," she says. "Thanks." You know what this means, right? You've closed the loop. The hero's journey is complete. "I'm not a hero," I say. "I just refuse to be a victim." She smiles. Same thing. That night, I'm home in my house in No Valley. Sarah is in the kitchen making dinner. Something with garlic and rosemary, the smell filling the whole house. I pour 2 glasses of wine, hand her one. "Big day?" she asks. "Yeah, we acquired Apex." "The company you used to work for?" "That's the one." She studies my face. "How do you feel about that?" I think about it. Really think about it. "Complete," I say finally. "Like I've come full circle." "Good," she kisses me. "You've earned it." We eat dinner on the deck, watching the sun set over the city. The lights are coming on, thousands of them, a sea of possibility. I think about all the choices I made, the risks I took, the doors I walked through when I could have stayed safe. I think about the me that died in that other timeline, alone, broke, forgotten. I raise my glass to him, to the man I was, the man I could have been, the man I refused to be again. "Thank you," I whisper, "for teaching me what not to do." Sarah looks at me curiously. "What was that?" "Nothing, just grateful." "For what?" I look at her, at this house, at this life I've built. For getting a second chance. And not wasting it. She smiles and clinks her glass against mine. We drink to the future. And for the first time in 2 lifetimes, I'm not afraid of what's coming. Because I know exactly what I'm worth. And I'll never let anyone convince me otherwise again.